probably the final straw of coming to my senses was when my dad was diagnosed with a terminal illness. He had just turned 60 a couple of months before, and me and I were over at going swimming at his house. We didn't have a pool, and so we take Lily, our youngest daughter, over, and they weren't there, which was kind of strange. And my uncle said, "Hey, your dad kind of looked like he may have had a stroke. We've taken him to the hospital. We think everything's going to be fine." And within 24 hours, I mean, it was like a parade of doctors coming in telling my dad, he had a real estate business, "Go home and sell your business because you're going to die in 3 to 6 months." One of those doctors that told us that, it was like a year and a half later, 2 years later, he was in the hospital. My dad, he was just pretty sick by that point. The lady comes in, he goes, "You're that doctor that told me I was going to die in 3 months." She's like, "No, I didn't." She goes, "Yes, you did." I'm like, Dad. You know, it was just a lot to sit in there. I mean, I can only imagine what my dad was thinking to hear those words, but it was a lot for our whole family. And, you know, I remember after my dad, he had a surgery. He was in ICU, so I think there was like a 6 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock visiting time, and I drove over to see him. And I remember just one conversation with my dad. We get over there, and he's just like, "Man, I am so tired of people telling me I'm going to die." He's like, "I'm a Christian. I have hope that the Lord can heal me." And he says, "If I can't find doctors that are going to tell me that, I don't want them treating me." So I was like, "Fine, Dad. We won't." From now on, that's just kind of, we're going to give him a litmus test. And sure enough, within about an hour and a half, a doctor named Heidi McKellar, she's a radiation oncologist, she was at the time. And so we just asked her before she even got started. And she said, "I am a Christian, and yes, I believe the Lord can heal you. And this is a grave illness, but He will need it." And it just, you know, it just spoke to me. You know, it was just, all this was awakening me to, I have very little control over my life. I think I had, at that point, thought I could control everything in my life, and that really the Lord, there's going to be so many times in my life that I'm just going to have to lean onto the Lord and depend on Him. And so, you know, my dad did live almost 2 years from the diagnosis, so we're very, very thankful for that. And